Now, my best friend also led me to do some more study into the history of the Republican Party. And here's what I found out. All of these people that have been out in the streets, even back then, saying that Republicans hate black people, Republicans are racist, Republicans don't like women, Republicans don't like poor people. After studying for just an hour or two, I found out that nothing could be further from the truth. The 13th Amendment to the United States Constitution ended the scourge of slavery in America. Who was it that wrote that bill, sponsored that bill, passed that bill? It was Republicans. The 14th Amendment that gave equal protection under the law to black people in this country, to black citizens in this country, also passed by Republicans. The 15th Amendment to the Constitution, which gave black men the right to vote, was passed by Republicans. And in all three of those instances, those three things were denied by Democrats who fought fiercely to keep them from happening. And then I learned about Reconstruction. I learned about how after Republicans passed the 13th, 14th, and 15th Amendments to the Constitution to try to give black people in this country the rights they had always been entitled to under the Constitution, how Democrats flew into a rage, formed hate groups like the Red Shirts, the Ku Klux Klan, how they roamed around at night and terrorized Republicans and terrorized freemen, how they burned and bombed and lynched their way back into power in the South. And I became even more of a Republican. I learned about Jim Crow. All this time I'd heard about Jim Crow. And Jim Crow and Republicanism was put hand in hand as if Republicans were responsible for the Jim Crow era. Now I learned that the Jim Crow era was a direct result of the terrorism and violence and murder of Reconstruction, and that Democrats wrote all of the laws. All of the Jim Crow era laws were written by Democrats. And I became even more of a Republican. And then I learned about the so-called civil rights of the 1960s. And I say the so-called civil rights of the era of the 1960s because the real civil rights era in this country happened directly after our Civil War, when the 13th, 14th, and 15th Amendments to the Constitution were passed. We made great strides after our Civil War. That was when the first members of Congress were black members of Congress. Came directly after our Civil War, and they were Republicans. They were not Democrats. And to hear history, not history, but to hear popular culture tell it, that would not be the case, but it is. And I also learned about something called the Great Society Program, a welfare state that practically destroyed and is still damaging many minority communities around this country. It took the black fathers out of the homes and replaced the black fathers with a welfare check.
Right on.
It was sponsored 100% by Democratic politicians as a move to buy black votes with the crumbs from their table. And I learned that, and I became even more of a Republican. So why am I a Republican today? The number one reason I'm a Republican today is one word: abortion. For me, abortion is as pressing an issue to this day as slavery was yesterday. The sanctity of human life is paramount in any free society. And to have a party like the Democratic Party that absolutely pushes the murder of unborn children, the willful murder of unborn children is abhorrent to me. It's one of the main reasons why I am a Republican, because when the question is asked whether the unborn should have rights, it is Republicans that answer overwhelmingly that they should. And it's the reason why today I am a Republican. Another reason why I'm a Republican today is because Republicans fight fiercely, just as they did with the 13th, 14th, and 15th Amendments. They fight fiercely today to hold on to our constitutional rights, including the Second Amendment. Our Constitution is quite possibly the best document, the greatest document crafted by human hands in history. It is a living, breathing document as far as I'm concerned. And to lose it would be to lose everything that is sacred to us. Republicans are the ones who stand in the breach to ensure that every part of that Constitution stays in place. People ask me all the time, why do you believe the Second Amendment is under attack so fiercely? It's obvious. Just as the British came here in 1775 to steal our guns so we could not defend ourselves against their tyranny, the socialists today attack our Second Amendment to steal our guns so that we cannot defend ourselves from their tyranny. The Second Amendment is the linchpin that protects the rest of our Constitution, and is why I so fiercely stand behind it and support it. And I hope that all of you all do too. Another reason why I'm a Republican today is because Republicans believe in national sovereignty. Now, when we say national sovereignty, the first thing the left jumps to is, oh, you must be anti-immigrant. No, we love immigration. Immigration is what built this nation. It's one of the linchpins to the success of this nation. Some of the most fantastic photographs you can ever see are some of the photographs of the Europeans and other people from other continents coming here on ships to Ellis Island, looking at our flag, turning away from their own flag with tears in their eyes, knowing that they would be Americans. Not staying what they were, becoming Americans. It's one of the greatest things in this country. But here's not what I'm not for. I'm not for people jumping in line illegally and coming here illegally and skipping over the process and denying the law. You are welcome to come in my house, but you are not welcome to come in my house by sneaking in the back door or sneaking in the window or kicking in my door and forcing your way in. I will invite you in and you can be a guest. But make no mistake about it, you will not enter illegally, and I will not change my house to suit you. You will change yourself to suit me. If you wanted to stay what you were, you should have stayed where you were. This is our nation, and we are happy to have you as part of it. But some changes need to be made, and the first one is you need to follow the law in order to come here. And finally, the last reason why I'm a Republican today is quite simple. I believe in fiscal responsibility of government. I don't believe that an all-powerful government should have its hand in my wallet all the time. I said it this way to a group of young people once. I believe that everybody in this country has the responsibility of earning their keep, but I also believe that you should keep what you earn. And it should not be stolen from you by a government that seeks to give it to people who will not take care of themselves. Let me say that again, will not take care of themselves. Charity is one thing, but to give to someone who simply will not is thievery, and it should not be tolerated. And we need to push the conservative notion that you need to work for what you earn. And we certainly should take care of those who can't take care of themselves. But the key word in that is can't, not won't.